Hello and welcome to another edition of Attack Line. My name is Chad and I'm joined here as always by Dizzy.
How you going? First of all, we'd like to apologise for episode 5. We had a legal situation arise out of it. We're going to bring it up discreetly in this episode, but we've got a lot of news to get through. Welcome to Attack Line.
So we're going to jump straight into the news segment, guys, and first off the blocks we're going to start off with a big congratulations to the Northern Knights, of course, stepping up from Division 1 last year into Reserves Division. They've got their first win against strong Henley side. Big fans of the show, so congratulations to those boys, well done.
Now, we're going to be introducing some live Skype interviews with current touring Australian athletes such as Bakara Palmer and Greg Sukachev. We're also going to incorporate a Where Are They Now segment, talking to some older generations of players, see what they're up to these days. We've actually been approached by a community Foxtel channel.
How cool is that?
Not bad. They have offered to air a couple of our episodes, so we're going to up our production value, include these promised segments in later episodes and see if we can get famous via Foxtel as well. Also, we've had a concerned letter from a Queenslander. We're going to bring this up in Chad's mailbag, but after Chad and I have decided to go to Melbourne for the Australian Junior Volleyball Championships.
All those people in Victoria, look out for us. Attack Line's going Australia-wide. Bring it on, I can't wait.
Now, Brad Hocking had something interesting he sent us on Facebook.
Yeah, Brad Hocking, of course, affiliated with the Henley Hawks and Adelaide University. Now, all those fans of fantasy sports, fantasy football, us in particular, he has painstakingly put out a plan for the World Championships Volleyball, a Dream Team comp. So I'm going to be signing up for that. We're going to put this up on the Facebook page, on Attack Line Facebook page, so get involved with that one. Brad's done an awesome job, so thanks to Brad for that. I'm going to win it.
Now, don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. We're going to jump straight into the men's review. So we're going to jump right into the League Men review from round 4. Chad, tell me what happened to my team on Friday night.
USC Lion versus South Adelaide on Friday night. It was a big match on the cards, and it turned out to be just that. South were 3-2 winners in a 5-set encounter here. Lion went into the match decimated with a few players. Clusie went bushwalking. Tricky and Kurtzer were filming wedding crashes too. Some capable reserves players got bumped up. Grant Mutton, Jace, he played his last game unfortunately for USC Lion, which brought a tear to many people's eyes. But yeah, the first 2 sets went to Lion. I think they came a little bit complacent. South boys rallied. Maxie and Hickson were pretty much unstoppable for the next 3 sets, and they came around with the bickies there. So the next match we've been looking at is probably the upset of probably the last 2 years. Dizzy, take us through this one.
Well, Austral, the usual cellar dwellers of VSA, have actually come up and beat reigning premiers Norwood 3-1. Now, VSA actually posted a controversial status about this with a lot of exclamation marks and capital letters, which has now been pulled down, but
it's quite unprofessional in my opinion.
I think just leave the horrible commentary to us. As you can see from episode 5, we can take criticism on a bad episode. But at the end of the day, Austral won the game convincingly.
Yeah, fantastic by Austral boys. They talked it up in the off season, got off to an indifferent start, but showing the goods against Norwood really shows.
So it's looking like Norwood, like without Harry, they're showing their weakness a bit, so it seems the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Absolutely, Dizzy. Congratulations, Austral boys. This is a great season so far.
So the last game of the round is Henley versus Mount Lofty. Chad, tell us what happened.
Yeah, from all reports, this was another fantastic match brought to you by these teams. Now, Henley, they started off slow. They struggled a bit of timing, and that sort of mentally affected them. They couldn't really find any rhythm. But Matt Jones and Casey Grice entered the game in the 3rd set, and they really brought a whole bunch of experience, a lot of offense as well. From all reports, Matt Jones, he started off the first game with a short serve, nailed the pass, hit an able from the top of stick, and that really set the tone for the rest of the match. Basically,
in the 5th set, he came on and just put up a wall that was just impenetrable, really. They convincingly took the 5th set to win 3-2, but it begs the question, what's happening at Mount Lofty?
Yeah, a bit of an odd one this one. I mean, you've got arguably one of the best liberos in State League setting, one of the best setters playing pass hitter. I'm not sure what's going on there.
I mean, in my professional opinion as a journalist on Attack Line, I'd say swap, but not this weekend because you're playing USC Lions, so stay the way you are and we'll see you on the weekend. So this leaves the ladder with USC, Lion and South taking up the top 3 spots in the League Men. They're only separated by set percentage. Norwood, Lofty and Austral taking out the bottom 3 positions currently.
Yeah, it's been a great start this season, and it's really opened it up. What do you think? Like, do you think Norwood is still the team to beat, or do you think other teams have just improved?
I think last year they relied on Harry a lot, and now with him missing from the team, it's really evened up the whole competition. I mean, anyone can win at any point in the year.
Yeah, there's a lot of depth going through the leagues, and as we have a look through the other divisions, we'll start off with reserves men. To look at the ladder here, South, USC Lions take up 1, 2, 3. On the table there, Division 1 men is dominated by Mount Lofty. So well done to all those teams for a great start for the year. Now it's time again, guys, for Chad's mailbag. Now I've had an inbox here on Facebook from an anonymous member of the Queensland state team who they were voicing their opinion on the elevated costs of the Australian National Junior Championships held in early July this year in Melbourne. Now, it's costing this athlete here upwards of $2,500, which I envision is a hell of a lot of money for uni students like us and families alike. So, yeah.
It is a lot of money, Chad. So what we've decided to do is go over to the Australian Junior National Championships for a few days. We've actually budgeted $400 for the trip. What will that get us, Chad?
Now, 450 actually, because there's a little bit, there's a magazine, a coffee at the airport, but of course, this is including flights without any travel insurance, this is including accommodation, this is including 4 to 5 footy matches in Melbourne, and a few sneaky trips to the Crown Casino, which we're probably going to end up at anyway, so it's just going to be an all-inclusive trip that's going to pay for itself.
Now, you are actually eligible for the under-23 state team, Chad. Now, say one of the Libros before you breaks their legs in a freak gasoline-fired accident or something like that, we've actually done some rough calculations. It's going to come to $1,450 to compete in this tournament if you wanted to go play state this year.
That's considerably a lot cheaper. So everybody, shh. So we're going to have a look at the matches for round 4 for the Women's League. Dizzy, start us off.
Well, the first game was Mount Lofty versus Henley. Mount Lofty won this game 3-1. They controlled the first 2 sets 25-13, 25-14, and then lost the third 26-24. Super coach Jason Potts made a few changes in the 4th, put on his best starting 6, and they took out that set 25-9. So it was a pretty dominant performance in the end.
Yeah, so the next match for the round was USC Lions versus South Adelaide, and this was a comfortable 3-set win for the USC girls. They added a lot of serving pressure, really nullified the South Adelaide passing row, and really stamped their authority on the Women's League.
And one of the final games on the weekend on Saturday, Norwood defeated Austral 3-1. Again, one of the upsets of the round. Austral will be looking to bounce back this week, and Norwood will look to capitalise on their strong performance again in round 5.
Yeah. So we have a quick flick through the league ladder at the moment. It's a strong start from Lion and Lofty, taking up positions 1 and 2 in the ladder, closely followed by Norwood.
And in the reserves women, Norwood, Austral and Lofty take out the top 3 positions, and in Division 1, the Northern Knights, Austral and South take up the top 3 positions currently.
Good start once again from all these teams, and hopefully they can continue this form throughout the year. Hello and welcome to the Rumour Mill.
First of all, Chad, we've got some big news coming out of Lion once again. Jason Thomas has reportedly been paid $4,000 to play league at Henley.
What would you buy for $4,000?
Well, you could have bought 100 cartons of West End, or for Jace, 20 entry fees to Red Square.
That's a lot of entries. That's 20 Saturday nights. That's almost half a year you can get a Red Square. So unfortunate to see him go, but hopefully he can really build in his volleyball skills at Henley, where they're paying everybody. So awesome. Now I've got this next one. Dizzy, now you and I went out Saturday night, did some extensive research, as we are a tackline journalists, and you sustained an injury walking across the streets at about 4 AM. And as a result of this, I've heard that you're only 50% chance to play against whoever you're playing this week.
So, yeah, we've got Sam Lambeth coming back, so he'll probably take up my position in the middle at the moment with Clusie and Kurtzer.
Do you want to tell us how you sustained this injury, or should I field this one?
I think you should field this one.
Okay, so guys, we're just getting a bit of research food. You know, you got to fuel the brain. We walked across the street. Dizzy sort of had a look back at us, and Grant and Mutton, who I was with, of course, USC Lion Reserves middle blocker, looked back. A cab drove past, picked up some people on the sidewalk there, and Dizzy walked straight into the cab and really quite damaged his knees.
It is sore. It is sore.
So 50% chance to play. I don't know.
There's some other news coming out in the beach volleyball community. It's been rumoured that a few beach volleyball rounds in South Australia for the 2012 and 2013 season are going to be played at Port Noarlunga.
Of course, about a 2-second drive from my house. I live down south, hence why I play for South. And Port Noarlunga is a great beach, and it's got awesome kids there. You can do some sweet jetty jumping as well. So yeah, it'd be great to take it down to Porties, bro.
And there's been a lot of news about City Beach and its supposed redundancy in Adelaide at the moment. So there's actually been a new beach volleyball centre approved in the heart of the city, Chad.
Yeah.
And it's going to be built in 2014. I can't reveal the location on Attack Line, but you heard it first on the rumour mill.
Attack Line is the bottom line in the city, not Flinders Street, closer to West Terrace, closer to Macca's.
George
so
Street.
Convenient. So we're going to have a bit of a preview for round 5 men's. Now, Dizzy, start us off. Who have we got?
Well, the first game we've got is South versus Austral. Now, the Austral boys are coming off a big win last week. They are going in with an unchanged lineup against South. South are coming off again a strong win against USC. And they're getting a strong tribal warrior back in Jono Berend, who is famous for hitting every ball below the height of his afro. So it's a good skill to have.
Throws people off.
Yeah. Pretty much. Austral, they're going to have to stop Josh Hickson through the middle to have any chance, so my tip is South.
So the next match that I'll be having a look at is between the teams of USC Lion and Mount Lofty. Now, both teams coming off of pretty big matches in the previous round. USC Lion really went to cruise control after getting the first 2 sets against South. Lofty really need to improve their offense if they have any chance to win this match, with Clusie, Tricky and Kurtzer coming back. I'm tipping USC Lion in this one in pretty emphatic style.
And the final game we've got is Henley versus Norwood. This is our joust game of the week, Chad. I mean, Henley have got a lot to prove against Norwood now with all their off-season investments coming up against Premiers Norwood. They've got a new recruit in Jason Thomas, but really their keys to success are to limit Norwood's pass-hitting role in Nick West.
Yeah, Nick West, big player for Norwood.
The keys to success for Norwood, they just need to expose Henley's new passing lineup and really make the most of their inexperienced middle players. My tip is Norwood in 3.
Yeah, I'm going to tip Norwood in this one. I think it's going to be in 4 though. Henley have got a lot to prove. I mean, this is a big match. They had all the investment. This match is going to show if you really can buy investment. My tip is no.
So we're going to have a preview of the round 5 matches for the League Women. The first game we've got is South versus Austral. Now, after last week's performance, Austral have made a few changes. Verity is now setting for Austral, and Shirley, the libero, has been dropped to reserve. So a few big changes there. South also have something to learn from last week, getting beaten in 3 by USC Lion. After some calculations, my tip is South in 4 sets.
I'm also tipping South. So I'll be having a look at the next match, which is our joust game of the week between the teams of USC Lion and Mount Lofty, 2 juggernauts of women's AVL. Now, 1 and 2 heading into this match, I think the keys to success here for Mount Lofty is to expose the middle. USC Lion have a younger, inexperienced middle. They really need to step up and take it to the top middles in the game. They also need to pass well and use their offense at their disposal. Obviously, very strong setter, strong pass hitters. They're just strong pretty much everywhere. They really need to utilise that. USC Lion, they need to be wary of the middle attacks. Because of the weakness in the middle, they're probably going to just crash it through the middle, so they really need to just defend well and really channel that ball, get ups and fire back. And they need to serve strong. They've got a fantastic, I think the best serving side in women's ABL. And I think they really need to put the pressure on with the serve, really put the passing under pressure. But I'm tipping you, actually, no, I'm going to go Mount Lofty in 4.
The final game of the week is Henley versus Norwood. Now, Norwood are obviously coming off a strong win against Austral, but now they're coming up against a tricky Henley side. It's going to be imperative to keep error rates down on both sides, but at the end of the day, I'm going to tip Norwood in 4.
Henley girls for me in 4.
Now, apologies for the lack of meterball segments in the last few episodes. We've had a few things tie us up. We've been a bit too busy, but we've brought everyone's second favourite segment, Lookalike. So the first one we've got is President of South Adelaide, Alex Moncrief, and Wayne Rooney.
That's pretty close, I think. This one,
I confuse them all the time.
It's his doppelganger. Now, the next one I'm going to look at is it's a bit of a Norwood old boy, Brandon O'Leary, and Australian swimmer Michael Klim. That's pretty close, I think.
Pretty similar. The next one we've got is Norwood pass hitter Nick West and Brazilian gun Gustavo Endres.
Endres, that's
nice.
So yeah,
they look pretty similar, I think.
That's good. Play very similar as well.
And another South Adelaide boy, Dylan Huram, and Pau Gasol.
LA Laker. I think, yeah, this one, I always think they look identical. They could just hop in each other's uniforms, be the exact same person. Bit of a height difference in this one, though. But the next one we're going to look at, and unfortunately the last one, Grant Mutton played league last week. USC line middle blocker and acoustic folk lady heart melter Teddy Agegu. This one there.
Very similar.
Very similar.
Very similar. Chad, you've got something to mention, a bit of news coming out of South Adelaide.
Yeah, on the 19th of May, it's the annual South Adelaide Quiz Night. I'm going to be there, Dizzy's going to be there. Your best bet to book a table through Leon. Contact Leon on the South website. This is a fantastic event, cheap night, really supporting a local club. As I said, Dizzy, he's from another club, but there's going to be plenty of other club officials and players and that sort of stuff. So get along, it's going to be an awesome night.
So we're going to wrap it up there. We're going to leave you with Lever's Clip of the Week. See you next time on Tap Line.
Oh, Josh!